a ton of people there, but I sat in the back and I cried. I cried so, it was kind of embarrassing. I was like, ugh. So somebody asked me why I went to the funeral, and I was like, it's just the only thing I know to do. It's the only thing I know to do. You grieve with those who grieve. That sometimes means you go and sit at the back of somebody's funeral, of a grandmother that you've never met, and you cry, and you show your support, and you let people know that they're not alone. They're not alone. The second kind of thing that's kind of unfolded this last couple of weeks, probably heard that Michael and Aaron's grandmother was diagnosed with cancer this week. It's an aggressive kind of cancer. They're just kind of beginning to find out the details and finding out what the next steps for her procedures and her treatment's going to look like. And so they're in this kind of uncomfortable land of waiting and wondering and not knowing really any answers. They don't have, like I said, many answers at all. They don't know when she can go home from the hospital, and all of this is weary, and all of this is tiresome, and when you go through these situations, and when you think that you're in it alone, it can make it much worse, right? It can make it so much worse. And so tonight, Stephen, can you come back up here real quick? We're going to pray. Tonight we're going to pray for a couple people, but specifically for Grandma Linda. She's really special to me. She treats me like family, especially in a place where I don't really, most of you know, I moved here, I didn't have family when I moved here, but Grandma Linda always took me and treated me like her family. A couple months ago, my father, he had to have surgery to remove a tumor in his hand. And when I was going through that, and when I was so worried about my father and about what he was going through, and when I was in the middle of my grief and my sorrow, Grandma Linda, she grieved with me. She walked through that situation with me. She prayed with my father. She was texting me all the time. Have you heard anything? Do you know he's had his surgery? What were the results? Is he going to have the second surgery? Okay, when is the second surgery? Grandma Linda, she grieved with me in this situation. She walked through the situation, and now it's kind of my turn, right? Like the tables have turned, and it's my turn, and it's not just my turn to pray for Grandma Linda, but to pray for Michael and for Aaron and their whole family. And as I was preparing this tonight, I started thinking of, I know there's some others here in the room whose grandparents passed away recently. I know I have somebody else in the room whose grandparents are just really fighting for their life at this point. And so I don't want to leave anybody out. And so I want everybody to stand real quick. Stand. And give us a chance to pray with you guys. If you have, and it doesn't even have to be my grandma's really, really sick. It can be anything. It can be any situation that you're like, this is really sorrowful for me. My parents are going through a divorce. I'm not sure where I'm going to live. I'm just in this state of grief, in this state of sorrow. I feel like I've lost somebody. They might still be alive, but they completely cut me out of their life. Whatever that situation is, this is what this is about. This is the thing that ties us all together. It's this moment where we can rejoice with those who rejoice and grieve with those who grieve. So if that's you tonight, just raise your hand real quick and keep it up. And students, I want you guys to look around the room and see hands that are raised. And I want you guys hands up a little bit higher. I'm sorry. so I know who we're praying for. If you're around somebody who's got their hand up, would you just put your hand on their shoulder and just let them know? If you're not around anybody, you guys can just pray with me tonight. We're going to pray and ask the Lord to be with us. Lord, God, we thank you for tonight. God, we thank you for, God, I thank you for a group of individuals, Lord, who love one another, Lord, who love you. God, I thank you that I get to be a part of this group, part of this really awesome youth group, Lord. And I know that in my times of sorrow, in my times of grieving, Lord, that there have been